Yo, what's going on? Chavo Guerrero Jr. here, giving a big shout out to Wrestling Rehab. Keep watching, keep listening, and Viva la Raza.
Órale. Órale, Cholo Trucker here, Wrestling Rehab. Shouts to all the junkies out there. And as a matter of fact, gracias to one of the junkies. I don't remember who it was, man, but gracias to that junkie anyway, that made me aware of this documentary that's out there. It's called Wrestlers, and it is on Netflix. It's actually a docu-series. There is 7 episodes to this documentary. And what it is, it's a documentary of OVW. Oh yes, OVW. Now, I'm not really caught up to game with OVW and what's been happening in the world of OVW. I kind of just caught on with OVW, man, when WWE was talking a little bit more about it. And we all know that major big class that came out of OVW, which basically, in my opinion, made OVW notable, right? At least to the universe, right? I'm sure there's people that knew and were hardcore fans of OVW. I'm just talking about in a much larger scale. um that's where the guys, but when you heard that, that's where the guys like Shelton Benjamin, Randy Orton, John Cena, Batista, Brock Lesnar, so on and so forth, that's where they came out of. I mean, we're talking about names here that main evented WrestleMania, so um I think that's kind of like when everybody really started hearing OVW. Like I said, not the hardcore fans of OVW, they're regionally and all, but just for the larger scale of audience, man. Now I did not know this, and I learned this actually through the docuseries, the documentary that I watched on OVW. The WWE cut cord. They cut the cord with OVW and just kind of left them hanging and went off and started FCW. If anybody remembers FCW, it's actually before NXT. It's basically what NXT turned into. It was called FCW, and there's a documentary on that as well. But I had no idea. I'll be real with you guys. I had no idea. I thought the WWE all this time still had some sort of connection with OVW. I thought WWE still had, a little bit of a relationship and was funding a little bit with OVW. I had no idea it was no, they just kind of cut the cord and took off and left OVW hanging like that. I had no idea until I watched this documentary. Now, a lot of these smaller promotions like OVW were in connection with WWE. And once they left, a lot of them went under. As a matter of fact, according to the documentary, they all went under except for OVW, which still kept it going. And one thing that was cool that I had no idea about either, I learned so much in this documentary. I had no idea that the guy, the main guy, the CEO, the guy who runs the place is Al Snow. Yes, Al Snow, the Al Snow. You guys remember Al Snow? Head, right? Al Snow is the guy that runs the place. He owns OVW. But see, here's the kicker. This is how the documentary starts. And I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe the documentary was filmed in 2022 and released in 2023. So the documentary pretty much starts with OVW getting ready to close its doors because they're just not making any money. So what happens is that they go ahead and they get in bed with a couple of guys to bring in money to fund OVW so they could keep it going. Now, the kicker to that is one of the guys kind of minds his business and he just steps aside, right? They do show him a little bit here and there, but the other guy, he's pretty hands on because he is a wrestling fan. So the struggle in all of this was him getting the respect of not only Al Snow, but of the talent, right? Of the wrestlers there. Because here's this guy who is not part of the wrestling world. He's never been a wrestler, he's never been in the business of wrestling. So they don't really have a high level of respect for him. But at the same time, it's like you can't really tell this guy too much to go pound sand and leave us alone. We know the business. You don't know what you're doing because you've never been part of the business. So just get the heck out of here. They can't really push that too much because they need his money. Without his money, the doors are closing. So it's a little bit of a power struggle. And watching the documentary, I think everybody means good. There's really no bad guy. There's really no heel, I should say, in this documentary. I think everybody is wanting the best for the business, is wanting the best for this promotion. But they all got different ideas. And it's pretty hard for Al Snow, um, him being owner of the OVW as well, and trying to tell this guy, like, look, man, I kind of know what I'm doing because I've been a wrestler for so many years and I've been in business. And at the same time, the guy that I forget his name, but the guy that comes in and saves the business with his money, he's kind of got this attitude like, well, if you knew what you're doing, I wouldn't be here. You wouldn't need my money. So now that I am putting in money, I get to say so. I am part ownership with you on this, so I do get to say so. And just the struggles of the wrestlers, what they go through, a little bit of drug issues. One wrestler actually ends up getting incarcerated. Um, it's got male wrestlers, it's got female wrestlers, their struggles. There's a mom and daughter duo. Some of the wrestlers, some of the women wrestlers get a chance to go over and perform at WOW, Women of Wrestling. One of them gets signed to AEW. They're getting into some sort of connection with AEW, a little bit of that, and why Al Snow is a little bit he's a little bit skeptical of getting in bed with some of these major promotions. He's kind of one of these guys where it's like, you know what? I want them to come to us. I don't want us to go after them, right? I want them to come after us. And at the same time, the his business partner and all this that came to actually save OVW, he's kind of like, well, look, man, we're not there and we need the exposure. They go on tour around the state trying to sell their product, the struggles that comes with promoting and advertisement, right? It's like you don't got all this big money, man. We could just put it on commercials and all that good stuff. You need to advertise pretty much the old school way. Make flyers, go out there, hand them out, things like that, man. But um, great, great, great documentary. I really loved it. I really, the struggle for the wrestlers, man. It's tough. It's tough to watch. It really is. I think it's very, very, very important for junkies to go out and watch some of these small promotions, support some of these small promotions. Yes, definitely. I'm a WWE fan all the way through and through, right? But I would say to all the junkies is this: find whatever small promotion is around you, and every now and then go check it out. go check it out, right? And you build a relationship with some of the characters. You get to know some of the characters, and next thing you know, you're a little bit more invested on who's champion, who's chasing who. You're a little bit more invested on the storylines, and that's a beautiful thing, man. That's a beautiful thing because these smaller promotions, they need to exist. There is a spot there. Okay, wrestling has been monopolized. We know that. But I want some of these smaller promotions to exist and do good, and that cannot happen without the junkies out there checking out some of these smaller promotions. And by the way, you're going to be able to see things at these smaller promotions that you're not going to see at the big times. Okay, hands down, man. There's some just badass stuff that you'll see at smaller promotions that you won't see at the big time. So, but anyway, man, look, Wrestlers OVW. Well, it's just called Wrestlers, and it's on Netflix. But it's a documentary on OVW, 7 episodes. Go check it out. It's dang it, it had me hooked. It had me hooked, man. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. You guys go check it out and let me know what you guys think about it, man. Cholo Trucker Wrestling Rehab. Shouts to all the junkies. I'll catch you guys on next one.
And I hope that one time